So this is an 8-horse Tecumseh. Keep a few of these on stock because they're very common. These are 13 bucks. But if you got the 7-horse, which I think Tecumseh made these for Aaron's and Toro specifically, then you got to get this booger. Almost looks the same, but it's got the plastic choke lever on the top. So I'm just going to make a quick video. I'm going to fix this guy's thing in about 15 minutes, and that's all you need. When these carb, you know, if this machine was running fine the season before, and then you go to start it the next season, and it doesn't want to start, it's almost 98% of the time gas related. And I used to take these carburetors apart, clean them up, go through that whole gamut. But to do that, you got to take the carburetor off, and then I don't do that anymore now because I just buy another carburetor. They're so dirt cheap that why wouldn't you? It's brand new. Now this one is the 7-horse is a little bit more money. It's I think 17 bucks as opposed to the $13 8-horse. Go figure. The 8-horse is less. Maybe these are more uncommon or something. I don't know. But let me show you how to take that off. Like I said, I'm going to do this about 50. You hear Bodie going in the background? But let me get to it. This is a Toro 724 model number. I don't know the specific year, but the guy, he told me it was an 8-horse, and now he's, like I said, he's probably out shoveling by hand because he didn't know what kind of machine he had. So let me put this together. So the first thing I do is I want to check for compression just to make sure, you know, it is the carburetor, why it's not starting. And if you don't have a compression checker, you know, you could take the spark plug out, just put your finger over the hole, you know, if you got some pressure. But look, I went to see if this, you know, I was like, hey, where's the little red choke mechanism? Look at this. Wonder why it won't start. So the plastic stem for the choke is broke. I don't know if this is what this guy's issue was, but it's certainly an issue. It's snapped off clean. But we have a new carburetor, so I'm not worried about that. But maybe that's why, you know, maybe that's why it wouldn't start for him. I don't know. Got the carburetor, I'm going to slap it on. So let me show you how to do this right there. Yeah, so there's supposed to be 2 screws right here. So somebody's been in here before. That holds, there's a bracket for your carburetor. Those 2 little screws. I've got some screws like that. Don't worry about that. But that tells me either they vibrated out or somebody was in here. So there's a, I probably can't see behind there. There's another Phillips screw on this side for the housing. And then there's this bolt up top. So you just got this, this one little Phillips here. These 2, which are usually Phillips, maybe a hex. And I think it's a 5/16 hex there. Let me get a wrench. It's about the 8th time my dog's run around this track, so it's getting tired. So like I said, the 2, 1, and 1, and this should just pop off of here. So there's the carb, and those 2 screws just go right in there. We're going to need this plate for the new carb, so I'm going to take these 2 off, but this is all it is. Just those are Phillips. Sometimes those are hex too. Screwdriver. Just gonna see if these will loosen up. You got to pinch off the line if there's no. There should be a fuel valve on the other side, but pinch off the fuel line. It just see if these things come loose. They do, so I'm not worried about that. Get a pair of pliers. Get this primer bulb off. Primer hose off without ripping it. Shit, thought I had some pliers. Shut the fuel off. If you don't have the fuel shut off, you're going to have to clamp this with a pair of ice grips or something, but I think there's a fuel shut off. Let's take a peek. Usually on a snowblower there is. There it is. Over here. Alright. Let me get a pair of pliers. Alright, so before I take this off, I'm going to get these loose. Be a little easier on it. Oh, that was kind of loose. Wow. Expect it to be a little tighter, but. So you're going to need this plate. Bodie, knock it off, buddy. He's been running around like 30 minutes. He's tiring me out. You hear him? Shoo! Alright, so, where was I? Took the, yeah. You got the pliers, take off your fuel clamp, or your fuel line, this little squeeze clamp. I replace these, but you don't have to. I do replace them because they do get brittle. Get that fuel line off of there. And see how that's cracked? I don't know if that's coming out of the... What am I looking at here? Yeah, I don't know if you could see that, but the end of this is cracked. So what I do is take a pair of dikes and clip this bad stuff off. So hopefully it'll be enough. Yeah, there'll be enough. Otherwise, if you don't have enough, you're gonna have to. This is probably gonna leak over time. See how brittle it is. So, all right, next. One screw, two screw. Done. Right. The only linkage on this carburetor is the top. It's in a, just remember where the hole is, second hole, or the hole closest. Just get it off of there, and that's it. And you know, just remember where it's here, and on here it's at the second hole. So I'm not even gonna mess with this carburetor. Chances are it wasn't starting because this stem was broken. Looks like it was a quarter of the way open. Maybe a little bit open. I don't know, that's my guess. Or maybe it just... What the hell? Yeah, somebody's been in here. Like there was no... Oh shit. Yeah, I'm being set up, I think. So usually, you know, things are put together and you have to unscrew this carburetor. This one just wanted to fall apart. Yeah, I should have stopped right there when them two screws were there. So I don't know what's going on with this thing, but I got a new carburetor. Holy crap. Let me pause a second. I gotta call this guy, see if there's anybody in here. So I call the guy up, I say, hey, there's some issues with this carburetor. Has anybody been tinkering with it? And he goes, oh, my nephew was looking at it. Why? Oh, no reason. So there's probably no gas, and I didn't even look to see if there's gas in here because this carburetor had no high-speed bolt in it. It wasn't even in there. It was just sitting under like that. So if there was gas in that tank, because I shut the fuel shut off, this would have just pissed out of there. So now I'm gonna have to give the guy gas too. Anyways, let me clip this off. Get some good stuff here. Yeah, my nephew, he thought he could get it fixed, and I blah blah blah. I didn't want to tell him. He probably broke the choke, and blah blah blah. So, all right. So where were we? I'm going to use this gasket because there's nothing wrong with it. See how it bolts right back up. Oh, and these are pretty much set when you buy them, but I do have a couple of videos on how to set these. You turn them all the way down, back to low speed off 1.5 turns, and back to high speed off 1.5 turns. You know, after they're seated. But from my experience, when you get these right out of the box, they're set up and they run fine. If we have to tune it, we will. So let's put this back together. Oop. Forget your linkage. Even this looks a little goofy. Usually there's a Z-bend. Could be a hook. I don't know. We'll try it there anyways. Yeah, something's definitely goofy. Doesn't even fit in that hole good. We'll put it back the way it was first. See what happens. Yeah, I generally, when somebody's had their hands in it or they give me a box of parts, I'm not interested. Hey, can you fix this? Everything's in a box with all the screws and nuts. I'm like, who took it apart? Whoever takes it apart's got to put it together. I ain't dealing with that. I didn't notice this stuff at first. Anyways, this is a Tecumseh engine. I'm sure everything's fine. Though, you know, I believe the guy that it ran, his nephew, Probably broke the choke, the plastic choke here. Called it quits. Just kind of set it up for the next guy. So he might have had me if he put the high-speed jet on. Christ, then I may not have known anything. Well, the 2 screws on here was missing too. He said it was his nephew. I don't know. Maybe it was him. He just got lost. Decided, let's take it somewhere else. Let's put this booger back on. So these are wicked easy to do. Again, I stopped friggin' taking them apart and cleaning them, just because for the time that you got to take the carburetor off anyway, which you can see is like 5 minutes. But why even bother taking it apart, especially when it's winter out, it's cold. Get your hands all cold with gas. Just put a new carburetor on. The 8-horse, like I said, are $13. No shit, on Amazon. I've got Amazon Prime, so it comes basically the next day, free shipping. It's the only way to go, really. I stopped taking them apart a long time ago. Anyway, even the idle setup, so you really don't have to mess with anything. Just bolt everything back on. 2 minutes later, you got a running snowblower. So put this gas line on. Again, if you cut your gas line like I just did, and somebody else has done it before, you might run a little short. Then you're going to have to use a little, you're going to have to get some more gas line. And in a case like that, I was going to add a new clamp there, but I didn't. I would just, use a junction, piece it together, get some more hose. But we had enough. So what's left? Oh, put this booger on there. Uh-oh. Just enough for your primer bulb. I'm not going to clip that booger. There we go. Get it in the right location. Alright, everything's hooked up. Choke works. Let's put this cover back on. Actually, before I put the cover on, let's just put some gas in this, see if it starts. So everything looks like it's working properly. There's no gas in here. I don't know if I have gas. Is that just snow blowing? Hello? No gas. Alright, let me get some gas. Put some gas in there and we'll fire this thing up. Alright. I'm only giving this fella enough to start this and run a little bit. I'm not gonna... Alright, so turn the gas on. I'm not gonna get my full tank of gas. Something shady with this fella. So before I put this on, let's see if this thing starts. Let's see. Look, gas. Oh, he's got electric start. Let's see if we can pull on this. Yes, there is. There's a switch, on-off switch. Let's choke it, huh? Can't see. It is choked. You know what? Let me get a cord. Oh, there's a cord. Oh, got a cord set up already. It's a little cold out, so I don't want to pull my brains out. Firing hole. Uh-oh. Alright, so I know it starts. It might need a little tune. I don't know. I'll probably just let it warm up a little bit before I mess with any of the adjustments. And if I do have to do an adjustment, I'll do that before I put the cover on. Although, a lot of these covers have, you might be able to get in there with, let's see, with a screwdriver. Yeah, it looks like I'll do it with a cover off. One of these holes you can get to the low speed, and the high speed, of course, is underneath. But it runs! And that was what? Me bullshitting and talking about stuff. Only 10 minutes, if that. So let me try to warm this up. If there's any adjustments to do, I'll do it on camera. If not, I'll show you how to put the thing back on. And we're done here. Yeah. before I pull it outside. I usually check the oil first and the gas. I don't know why I didn't check the gas. It looks like it's way over full, right? So I'm thinking gas got in the crankshaft from a leaky, I don't know what was wrong with the carburetor. That even looks like gas. Oh yeah, it smells like gas. So there's a bunch of gas in the crankcase. So let me change the oil on this and get back to it. I'm sure this thing will run fine. These Tecumsehs are bulletproof. Unless you get your nephew near it, then maybe not. Alright, so let's see if she starts. See if I can drill that out. I think it was open, right? I want to turn it on. May need just a little tweak on the low side. I'm gonna leave it for now. Let me see if I can drill this out. See, this fella has that be off. Something to go with. Let me see if I can drill this out. I gotta see if this thing works. Well, there you have it. It works, and it's a little fella, but it does work. I'm gonna have to probably fine tune it a hair and check the belts, send this thing on its way. So if you've got a no start issue, generally speaking 90% of the time it's the carburetor. So you could change this carburetor in, I don't know, 10 minutes. Really, it's that easy. Go to Amazon, get yourself a 7 horsepower Tecumseh. Make sure it's 7 horse, because you're going to have the wrong carburetor if it's not. And 10 minutes later, you'll be on the road. Alright, thanks for watching.